McKay's and pick up some items, manga or something. So I'm familiar with Greensboro and with Salem as far as Edward McKay's is concerned. Visited them both and picked up things. Yes?
No. I have this removed.
Oh, yeah. But it's the most important thing. He is right about one thing is that you have fun with your group.
Yeah, in the end, it's all about fun. The main reason we have a group is so we can hang out with each other. Like a lot of the times, like I said, we pretty much get along with each other better since our main love is anime. Like my main love above almost anything else, other than my wife, of course, is anime. And anytime I find, someone else that like anime, it's awesome. It's just fun to hang out with other people that enjoy anime as well. Mm-hmm. So the main target of a group is for you to hang out with other people who have the same exact interests as you do. And it's not just about just getting on the group and just talking on Facebook. What's the point in that? When you could just talk to anybody else that likes anime on Facebook as well. But the main point about it is to hang out with other people that have the same exact interests as you do and actually get out there and hang out. But I do know a lot of people are shy, there are people who are shy as well, but that's the thing, you go into groups, and you slowly start easing your way on to, meeting other people and, showing your interest to each other.
Mm-hmm. To use an old quote that I've used many a times, no man is an island unto himself. Each man is part of the continent, part of the main. You're not an island. You're not alone. Groups and organizations are wonderful ways to learn about a subject. Granted, I am an anime fan. I've been watching this stuff since the 1970s. But also, too, it's a nice way to explore. It's thanks to anime that I actually got a love for Japanese pop music. It's through anime that I actually took the time out to research certain items. Like, take for example, there's an anime called The Magic Knights of Ray Earth, done by Clamp. And I never knew there was a thing called Tokyo Tower. And then I saw the anime and said, well, wait a minute, that might be a real place. And then I did my little research and found out, yes, Tokyo Tower does exist in Tokyo. It's a real tower. It's actually bigger than the Eiffel Tower of France. And it's little anecdotes like that that makes life interesting when they can use a real place in history, let's say like the Warring States era, which is mentioned in Inuyasha, and that's a real time and place in Japan's history. So I've been able to weed out facts from fiction, and that's one of the nice things about anime. I have made mistakes when you go into a new subject. It's very easy to do. I one time wrote something like, okay, I read in the book, Japan didn't have any laws of consent. And this was an old book, and a friend wrote me back and said, well, your information is outdated. Found out in like 1986 there is a law of consent over in Japan. The legal age for a person to get married for a female is 16, for a male it's 18. But I have always, when I read that old book, that law that book was made like in 1970, and there's a big difference between, times do change, and people do change, and laws do go into play that you didn't know about. So that's one of the nice things when you're dealing with an anime club, because you can pull your resources. There may be somebody who had seen this nice, wonderful animated series you never even heard about, and you can go to them and say, okay, you've seen, let's say, The Cat's Return, Hayao Miyazaki's film, and let's say I never saw it, when you told me about it, and I might go out and, watch it and say, oh, that's very nice. Finally got a chance to see something that I never have seen before. I have a friend who lives in High Point, and she got me started watching a bunch of them, like Fruits Basket, Great Teacher Onizuka, Band Dread, and it was thanks to her that I got, to learn about these series I didn't know existed.
True.
Mm-hmm. So, exchange of information is very vital, when you can get that little interesting little piece or that interesting name. How about yourself? Have you had that type of experience?
Well, basically, yeah. Like with a lot of my group members, my thing isn't just anime, of course. When you meet other members as well, they get you into many other things. Like my thing, I love anime. I love J-rock, visual K, anything Japanese related. Pretty much, I'm a fan of. So the cool thing about it is, you meet with other friends and they like introduce you to things you've never even seen before, and you're like, oh my god, this is awesome anime, I gotta watch this. And that's one of the most amazing things of being with a group of people, because at the same time he's showing you something, and it's just awesome because you both love that. He's just introducing you to new things, and you do the same thing with each other. That's the main thing about groups.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody have any questions, or because we don't want to hog everything, we love to get the audience participation. If you have a question, don't be afraid to ask. Believe me, that's the only way you're going to find out anything. Do you ever have the problem though, and when you're dealing with a younger person, having to deal with a parent?
Well, the thing is with the younger audience, with me, I started watching anime when I was really young, and I love watching bloody anime. That's my thing.
Oh yeah.
I've been watching anime that I shouldn't have been watching at my age for a long time. Personally, if I'm talking to someone and they're like a younger generation, they watch bloody anime, personally I think that's fine. I'm not going to get involved. That's between them and their parents. But I'm not going to go out and tell them you should watch all these bloody animes and then their parents come and attack me. I've never had that happen. However, you got to respect the fact too that, you can't just go up to someone and be, oh, you got to watch this anime, and they're like super young, 14, 13 years old, you're telling them to go watch like
End of Evangelion.
Blood Sea or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's just, no.
Yeah.
Anyways, but still at the same time, personally, I feel I'm the type of person that I watch any type of anime, bloody, just anything. And I'm okay with, if you're mature enough at your age to be able to watch it, why not?
We do this type of event at the Salisbury Mall called Salisbury Mall Community Day, where they allow local clubs to set up free in the mall. And what we ended up doing, we would show anime, but we'd be very careful what we showed. Nothing, because you're out in public, and so you have to show stuff that would not offend anybody. Mm-hmm. Now that's a fun line to cross. Try to walk. Yeah. Now there are animes out there that are for little kids to watch. Let's say, for example, I have no problem letting them watch an independent film that I saw that was didn't have any violence in it, that was done over in Japan.
Yeah.
Like there was this one that I remember very well about this girl who finds this bird, it's a baby, and she raises it and then lets it go when it's full grown. Mm-hmm. And the bird shows up again, and she smiles at it, thinks the bird's on the side of her shoulder. Looks down there, he's not there. Looks up there, he's still up in the tree. Something like that.
But like he's saying, basically, parents do play a big part. I don't know how many of you guys out there, you can raise your hand if you're not, if your parents was or is against you watching anime or just think it's hilarious that you do. My parents personally were. I mean, you got to take in fact of that. That's why I think groups are awesome. I like to try to it's nice to have the younger generation as well, or younger kids, to be able to join groups, because it's good to be able to talk to parents and be like, look, this isn't just something weird. There's nothing wrong with watching anime, because I've heard of parents, being against it. Like when my mother first saw me cosplaying and everything and blah, 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 she laughed and thought it was stupid and everything, but that's what, it affects us, and you become more shy and self-conscious about it. But the main reason about groups is for us to, bring ourselves out of those shells and just be more comfortable around each other and other people.
Personally, my parents get on out. After high school, I went to college, I moved out. Now, 16, I've lived with roommates. Mm-hmm. So my parents don't even know what anime is, much less I watch it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. I mean, they know I'm into video games. They just don't know that, some do anime style. That's what I was about. Another thing about anime groups. Anime groups these days, we do so much more than just watch anime.
Yes.
Like I was talking about, we take trips.
It's not always just about it.
That's not something you can do really by yourself and have fun. We participate in contests. We even host some contests ourselves. Some of us cosplay. And the thing is, if you're not going to start an anime group that cosplays, then the only way you're going to get a cosplay, you're either going to have a bad cosplay, or you're going to have to spend a lot of money and time doing it. So you have to have three things to do with cosplay. You have to have money, time, and experience. And most people don't have all three of those at once. And one way to substitute for the experience is to be part of a group, and then you have that shared experience, and you don't have to really get the wheel.
And the cool thing about groups too is like you're in a group, you know, you guys are all like, oh, we want to cosplay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, awesome. The cool thing about this group is you can guys, if you all have an amazing series you want to, you know, do together, just focus together and make an awesome cosplay. There's nothing cooler than seeing a big group of people cosplaying the same thing. And that's the awesome thing about it. You can talk to each other. You can be like, hey, I have no idea what I'm doing with this cosplay. I'm pretty sure someone else in your group, you know, knows something about cosplay. Just ask around. That's the good thing about being in a group of people that have the same exact interests as you do.
And besides me, few of us here hate some of the talking stereotypes. You know, I'm really bad at talking stereotypes out there. And I read this book called Talking Spaces. I don't know if you know it here. It's a great photo book. The guy, it's a local guy that made a PhD in Japanese culture. And he went up to Japan with his wife, and he took photos and stuff. But the sad thing is, you can see all these stereotypes in it. You know, you get the like one picture is it's really the original one of the older Akakus in Japan that became this killer. And when the police went to his room, he had manga, you know, stacked from the floor to the ceiling, each covering all the windows. You know, his apartment had at least 2 windows that were covered up because it was sacrificed. And, you know, that created a lot of, you know, negative stereotypes for the rest of the Otakus. And it gave a really bad name for a long time in Japan. But, you know, even over here, a lot of people who watch anime were seen as outsiders because we don't socialize with them. And by being in groups and stuff like that, we're fighting against these negative stereotypes. And we're creating a positive influence for ourselves. That's really important.
I remember when I was at Ichiban Con 4B, and I wish I had had more time. There was this young boy, and he was running an anime club in high school, and he came up to me for advice. And the only 2 advices that I could really give him, because you're in high school, and that's, you can't really, you can do only so much when you're in high school. And so I told him the 2 advices that I had been given a long time ago when I used to run another different type of club. I said, 1, remember to make your club fun for everyone. And remember, number 2 rule is that you're only as strong as the people who are willing to follow you. Because if you try to do it all by yourself, it doesn't work. You really need a group to really make things work. You know, each member is very important. Each member has their part to play. So the group can do a lot more than just an individual.